Hello, my name is Mike from MikesCarpentryPlus from Southwest Indiana. This is video 22 on May 31st of 2019. And again, these videos are for friends and family, and I hope you guys learned something. You know, like that comedian said, you can do it, you can do it. But anyway, today we're going to show you how to put an outlet in, and what I did to prepare for putting that outlet in. And we're not actually putting the outlet in, we're going to put the outlet box in and a wire for it. And there's a lot of preparation for what I'm doing in here. You need to, since I'm putting drywall over the old drywall, and I'm not putting any runners or stringers of 2x4s or half of 2x4s or furring strips or anything like that along the walls, because I checked out before where the studs were, and it looks like the walls are pretty straight, and they're spaced out in a decent span, so that I can use the studs that are already there, the old oak studs. And I'll show you what I did here. I went around the room, and that line that I made right here all the way around the room for the ceiling, I went to where each stud was, and you can look down at the floor, and there's an opening down in the bottom where you can see the studs, and up at the top you can see the studs up there also. So I went along and drilled and found out the exact center of, let me get this on here, the exact center of each 2x4, vertical 2x4. This right here, as you can see, is 3 inches plus wide. So that's two 2x4s next to each other. And then right here, there's nothing. So I made a vertical line about an inch over from where I'm going to put a stud in there. Went 4 inches over and cut another piece, so that when I'll take this piece of drywall out, and then I can slip, here, let me show you. I'll just go ahead and do that now since I'm talking about it. There, you can see that okay. I just took a circular saw with an old blade. This is, it's dusty to do it this way, but it's a lot quicker and easier. I've got a fan at the front door and the window open over here, so that the air pulls, that fan will blow out the front door and pull the air through the window, and it'll clean out this room. Like, it was pretty dusty in here earlier from sawing where the outlets are going in this vertical two cuts here. But it's the quickest way to do it. Just make sure you put an old blade on your circular saw and set your circular saw. Let me show you. Set your circular saw up to where it's just cutting through the drywall. You don't want it to cut into the 2x4s very much. You know, if you go 1/8 of an inch or something, it's no big deal. But anyway, I'll take this out. And I'm not going to be able to go down. They've got it. Looks like they used to have a 2x4 running down through there, but they made this into a doorway for the porch. That's what my guess is. But I'm going to take a 2x4 and I'm going to put it behind there and make it flush with this here. And I'll have a 2x4 all the way up and down, and I'll connect it on top and I'll connect it on bottom, and then I'll put my screws in here through this right here, and then that way whenever I go to put my 4-foot wide sheets of drywall up, I'll have a stud here. Now, on the other side of another wall, right can you see it? Right here, between here and here, there's nothing there. So if I want to, I can do the same thing, but I don't think I'm going to because there's not an outlet there or anything. And it's 32 inches from the edge of this stud to the edge of this stud. And I can put a 4-foot piece from here all the way over to here. So I don't think I'm gonna worry about that. It's kind of like whenever you do this stuff, you kind of turn your brain on and figure out how you want to attack it. If you, I guess what I'm saying is that if this was like if I was rebuilding this for me, and I knew I was going to be in this house for 20 or 30 years, I'd probably just go ahead and spend the extra time and put one in, just because I'm ate up. I've got a problem. Sometimes I'm too much of a perfectionist, and I need to back off a little bit, because it's not really ever going to matter. Even if I live here, it's never going to matter, except for in my brain. But anyway, let me show you what I did to the outlets here. See the cutouts there? This right here, I cut this out. So I'm going to put a box right there, like that. And I cut this out enough to where I can get my hammer and nail that in. These boxes right here, these little blue ones, are only like 25 cents a piece, something like that. So they're cheap and they work good. And down at the bottom there is where an outlet's going. And I did the same thing. And what you do is you go up from the floor on your for a switch, go 42 inches from the floor up to the bottom of the box. Just measure up, mark it, and put your box up. Have your box sticking out about ½ an inch from this surface here. Not the you want to come out here. See if I can show you a little close up. It's going to go somewhere like that, where it's going to have a ½ inch stuck out from the top, and you measure from here down 42 inches to the floor. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and do that so you can see how that's done. First thing you do, let me grab my side cuts. I don't know what I did with my side cuts. Okay, there they are. First thing you do with these boxes is have some punch out little things here. Just take some side cuts and pull them out. And if you're going to run wires from the top, like a wire, this box is going to have a wire going up to the ceiling, and it's going to have one going down to get power from that outlet, because that's where I'll get the power for the light. But anyway, you take a cutout on one side and the other. If this was going to be a junction box, which I'm going to put a junction box in the basement here in a few minutes, you want to take all 4 out. But this is how you do it. It's real simple. Get your tape measure. Now, Remember, I am going to put 5/8 plywood on the floor, but you know, 5/8 of an inch isn't going to matter any. So I'm just going to measure 42 inches. If I wanted to be really anal, I could go 42 and 5/8, but I'm not. You know what? I'm going to do it. 42 and 5/8 to the bottom of the box. You just put a mark there. That's all there is for that. So that box is ready to go, and I'll do the same thing with down at the bottom for that box. And but let me show you that I'm going to put a box in, or drill a hole in the floor. So I'm going to run a wire to where this other one's going. You don't want to put the bottom boxes in yet. You want to get the wire pulled up first, so you have room for your hand to go down there and pull that wire up. Makes it a lot easier. And normally you don't have holes this big, but since I'm going drywall over drywall, I made them bigger so I can hammer those in. And then also it's easier, obviously, to pull your wire up to the floor. But anyway, I went all the way around the room and marked. I used a concrete drill bit, and I marked where every single stud is, the center of it, and all the way around the room. And what you do is, that does two things. That told me where I was going to put my outlet boxes, because I want to nail into a vertical stud. But it also gives me a starting point of where my 4 foot by 8 foot tall sheets of drywall is going up, because you want your like this stud here. I'm going to have a 4 foot piece of drywall, a whole piece right here, and that drywall edge is going to go right to there, and that's going to go all the way over to the middle of another stud. And they actually got that one correct, which is unbelievable. But anyway, did that all the way around the room. Nobody said this was a bunch of fun. It's a lot of hard work, but you can do it. So I'm going to go drill a hole down here. Okay, for outlet boxes, I guess I'm going to be anal again, because what I used to do is I used to go 16 inches. Right there would be the bottom of the box would be. But since I don't like bending over, and it's easier if it's raised up a little bit, now what I do is I normally go 24 inches to the top of the box from the floors, but since I'm going to put more flooring down, I'm going 24 and 5/8 of an inch. So first thing you do, like I said before with the other one, take your dikes or a screwdriver or something and pull that out. Now, since I'm going, the stud's here, and I'm going to be coming up from the floor, then I really only needed to take one of these out, because the wire's going to come up from the floor. So You just stick that box in. Now that stud in there has got a little broken, it's not square, so it makes it a little harder to do this, but I should be able to do it okay. Like I said earlier, normally those holes, this hole here isn't that big, and I wouldn't put that box in yet. But since this hole's so big, there's a board right there in the back, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult to get my wire from the bottom, but it should be able to be okay. So you take, you want to go about 4 or 6 inches to the right of that stud. The stud's right here. You go 2 inches out. This is just a 12-inch concrete bit. You can use a regular bit, but this is all I've got. I don't have a regular bit. It's 12 inches long, so this is what I use. You go 2 inches out from the wall, about 4 inches, 6 inches over. And I just happened to go through a floor joist. So I'm going to go over a little bit. Okay, I've got that drilled out. Now I want to know I want to drill a hole down in the basement to come up through here. So I got a piece of wire here, a white piece of wire. Just a regular 14 tooth ground, but it's the neutral. Put a 90-degree bend in it so it stays. Stick it in the hole, and I'll go down the basement now and drill a hole from the bottom. Four inches in from that wire there, and I'll be in the wall, and then I can push my wire up through. But here's my long blade bit ready to go. So here we go to the basement. I get to try my little light out too. Grab that wire. Oh, I didn't grab my box, did I? I need a box. Let's go get a box. There it is right there. There while I'm showing you. Let's go to the basement. Okay. Well, I can tell you right now, we had to go through another piece of wood there. See that? Okay. So I'm going to have to come in. You can see up there. Maybe I'll just break that out because I don't see my wire. I know it's right up in there. I'll set you down here. I don't know if you can see or not. See if we can get this to cooperate. Okay, there you can see it okay. It's right behind that board there. Well, that made a mess. Well, I don't see it. I do not see that wire. I'm gonna run upstairs real quick. You can come with me. Sometimes it's easy and sometimes it's not so easy. Okay, you can see where it is. And I saw that light coming up through there, right through here, and I don't understand what the deal is there. Let's see if we can turn this a little bit. See it kind of break through a little better. Now something else you can do is take your tape measure, measure over from the edge. We've got about 20 inches. And we've also got a wire right there coming up, and we can gauge off of that. It looks like about 20 inches from there. So maybe we can find it now. The life of an electrician, man. Lots of fun. A lot better than being in the attic, though. Okay, let's see if we can see it now. There's that wire right there. It's about 20 inches over. So, heck, it should be right there, but it must have went to the right of this. So since that's open there, I'm just going to stick a wire up and see if we can get that thing to cooperate. So I'm going to grab this 14 2 with ground Romex, and stick it up in this hole here, bend it a little bit, because I know it's going to be right up there. Okay. need to fasten this to something to kind of hold it in place. I'll put it on around that wire there. That'll hold it in place there. Now we can hopefully pull that up. That used to be a porch out there, and they had a door there. Okay. You see that okay? Yeah. So, should be right there. Look at that. Woohoo! So all you have to do is stick that through that bottom of that box, bring it out about like that, bend it over a couple times, and that's it. All we need to do is go down the basement again and put a junction box and then we'll run that wire over to it. Oh, my back is killing me. Alrighty then, we'll put you right up here. So get up here, we can see where I can put the junction box. Okay, take that wire down off of that wire there that held it up in place. And it's not going to come out, don't pull on it or anything. Take a little, one of these little plastic straps and get the first one up in there just to make sure nothing's going to happen to that wire. Let's see, the junction box is going to be in the middle of the room. Let's go to this one. There's always something in the way. Okay, now what we got to do is put this junction box in. Remember what I told you. See this junction box got the, we need to take all four of those cutouts out. So just stick a screwdriver, or I prefer using a pair of these cut-off pliers or dikes, whatever you want to call them. Since this is the junction box, we need to take all four out. Okay, that's done. Grab your hammer. In the middle of the room here is where we're going to put a junction box. We've got a wire right here that's already running that I've got marked going to the breaker box at 12.2 with ground, and I'll use that. So right about here in the center of the room, work good. Just put it in there, pound it in, leave it hanging down a little. Kind of give it an idea. If I had a shorter piece of wire, I could, I want to go up through there. So just run it to the box and then out about a foot. Cut the wire off and just run it over things. And get another strap. There's my hammer. Get another little plastic strap. Let's put one here. Make sure when you put these straps up that you don't end up going through the wire. And you're supposed to have a strap within 9 inches of this box. At least that's what I remember code is. And just stick your wire down through the box like that. And I'm going to number this box later. I should have a number on this wire, but it's like somebody took it off. But anyway, that's it for now. Let's go back upstairs. This is the underneath the kitchen floor. See how I have treated 4x4s, and I doubled them up on top to help that floor out, straighten it up, strengthen it. Alrighty then. Well, that pretty much wraps up this this video. I just wanted to show you a little bit on how to do the electrical on the outlet side, and well, I don't think I have any 14.3 with ground. I'll have to look, but if I don't, something else is with the ceiling fan that's right above the camera there. I like to run a hot wire to it, and then there's another wire that comes from your switch, your light switch next to your door, and then that way you can have your fan on without the light, and vice versa. You can have your fan off or on and the light off or on, and you just use the switch. When you walk in the door, you turn the switch on and the light comes on. The fan doesn't come on, but it's because it's got its own little pull chain, which seems to work the best for normal use. A lot of times people are lazy and they just hook up the fan and the light together, and then that way you have to have the light on to use the fan, and sometimes you don't want the light on. In my bedroom at home, I run my fan all night on medium, and of course I don't have the light on, so especially in a bedroom setting, but I do that in the living room, family room, kitchen, whatever, on all of them. And if you run 14.3 with ground to it, you can use, let's say the black wire would be your hot for your fan, the red wire would be the switch leg for your light, and then you just hook it up in your box there, and I'll show you how to do that. It's just a simple toggle switch, just operates a light, real simple. And I've got some 3-way switches I'm putting in the family room and in the kitchen, and I already, I think I already got them hooked up, but I'll show you on the chalkboard how to hook those up, no matter where your feed's coming from. So anyway, that's it for this video. Hope you learned a tip or two, and it's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it, and all I need to do now is just go around and mark where the boxes are going, drill a hole next to the 2 inches out from the wall, and now if I am putting plywood over this, so it doesn't matter, I can do that. But if it was a normal floor where I'm not replacing it, I could just go up against the wall. Since I'm putting drywall up, it would be underneath that new drywall, so it wouldn't matter anyway. But and you can seal it if you want to. You can do, you can go crazy sealing stuff if you want. Seems to help with the bugs and stuff. But these old homes, that's crazy. They'll find a way. but very different from a new home. But I'm sweating, my back hurts, I might even just call it quits. But I'm Mike from Mike's Carpentry Plus. This is video 22 in Southwest Indiana. Tomorrow's the first day of June, and it's going to start getting hot. I'm sweating right now, and if you have a cat or dog, please get them spayed in or neutered. If you want to get one, please go to your local animal shelter and rescue one. They'd appreciate it. Give your kids a hug and a kiss, and take good care of your animals, and let them out often, and make sure they have food and water every day. And you have a good day. Bye.